الجبال الشاهقات على المدى تخشعن عند تلاوة القرآن فاحفظ كتاب الله تحفظ دائما ما أسعد الحفاظ في الأزمان.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألف لام ميم. ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك وبالآخرة هم يوقنون أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك هم المفلحون. صدق الله العظيم. For the translation, Alif Lam Mim, that book has no doubt in it, a guidance for the God-fearing who believe in the unseen and are steadfast in Salah and spend out of what we have provided them, and who believe in what has been revealed to you and what has been revealed before you, and do have faith in the hereafter. It is those who are on guidance given by their Lord, and it is just these who are successful. Surah Baqarah verses 1 to 5. Yeah, we have finished the commentary and the tafsir of Surah Al-Fatiha in the last class. Today, inshallah, we will start Surah Al-Baqarah. First, to note about the things which will come, inshallah, in the lesson. There are basically 6 things, 6 points. Number 1, right then. Number 1, a little about Surah Baqarah. Number 2, why Surah Fatiha is immediately followed by Surah Baqarah. Why Surah Fatiha is immediately followed by Surah Baqarah. Number 3, description and need of huruf muqatta'at. Huruf ha, ra, waw, fa, muqatta'at, mim, qaf, fa, ain, alif, ta. Can you write the Arabic?
Yeah, I can.
In English, huruf muqatta'at are known as isolated letters. Number 4, the 2 ways of doubt. D-O-U-B-T, doubt. Number 5, 3 qualities of God-fearing. 3 qualities of God-fearing. Number 6, the most important, finality of prophethood. Finality of prophethood. Well, about the first point, Surah Baqarah, right? It comprises of 286 verses. It comprises of 286 verses, 6,201, 6201 words, and 25,500, 25500 letters. 286 verses, 6201 words, and 5500 letters. Surah is Madani. Madani. Second point, why Surah Fatiha is immediately followed by Surah Baqarah? Well, we'll listen about Surah Al-Mustaqim, the right path in the last Surah, Surah Fatiha. Surah Fatiha is immediately followed by Surah Baqarah, which begins with the word that is the book. ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابِ means that is the book, indicating that this book is the straight path one has been seeking and praying for, one we seek for and prayed for in Surah Fatiha. The straight path, now its explanation of straight path. Okay. Could you hear me clearly? Hello? Hello?
Yes, yes.
What
Yes.
this noise about?
I don't know.
Okay. Now the number 3, description and need of huruf muqatta'at, isolated letters. Well, the surah begins with the Arabic letters we can see like Alif, Lam, Mim. Several surahs begin with a similar combination of letters. For example, Hamim, Alif, Lam, Mim, Sad, Alif, Lam, Mim, Alif, Lam, Ra, Hamim, Ain, Sin, Qaf. We see these letters many times. The technical term for them is muqatta'at. Mim, Qaf, Ta, Ain, Alif, Ta. Muqatta'at. Isolated letters. Now what's the need of them? There is no meaning of, no commentary of, no tafseer of huruf muqatta'at. So what's the need? Because all the words, all the doings of Allah Almighty they have something important. So what's the need of these words? Answer is the majority of blessed companions and the generation next to them, the successors, Tabi'in, and also the later authoritative scholars have preferred the view that the isolated letters are symbols or mysteries, the meaning of which is known to Allah alone or may have been entrusted as a special secret to the Holy Prophet ﷺ, not to be communicated to anyone else. That is why no commentary or explanation of these letters has at all been reported from him, from Prophet ﷺ. So what's the need? According to many masters of science of hadith, every revealed book contains certain secret signs and symbols and mysteries of Allah Almighty. The isolated letters too are the secrets of Allah in the Holy Quran, and hence they are among the mutashabihat. Mutashabihat mean hidden meaning, which we don't know their meaning, the meaning of which is known to Allah alone, and it is not permissible for us to into any discussion with regard to them. The isolated letters are not, however, without some benefit to us. Now the benefit are, first, to believe in them and to recite them is in itself a great merit. We should believe in them because it's the part of Holy Quran. Although we don't know their meaning, their need, but because it's revelation, it's our test that we believe them or not. So we should believe in them. That's the first need. Second, in reciting them, we receive spiritual blessings from the unseen world, even if we are not aware of the fact. That's the need of huruf muqatta'at, isolated letters, alif, lam, mim, and etc., which will come inshallah after. Well, after alif, lam, mim, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. That book has no doubt in it. What is the meaning there is no doubt in it? There are two ways in which doubt or suspicion may arise with regard to the validity or authenticity of statement. Either, number one, the statement itself is erroneous and thus becomes subject to doubt, or the listener makes a mistake in understanding it. In the later case, the statement does not really become subject to doubt, even if someone comes to suspect it out of a defective or distorted understanding. As the Holy Quran itself reminds us later in the same surah, it will come, the verses will come, إِن كُنتُمْ فِي رَيْبٍ مِّمَّا نَزَّلْنَا عَلَىٰ عَبْدِنَا فَأْتُوا بِسُورَةٍ مِّن مِّثْلِهِ. Translation is, if you are in doubt about what we have revealed to our servant, then bring a surah similar to this and do call your supporters other than Allah if you are true. That is to say that you are not true about this, that this book has doubt in it. So, in spite of the doubts and objections of thousand men of small or perverse understanding, it would still be true to say that there is no doubt in this book, either with regard to it having been revealed by Allah or with regard to its contents. So there is no doubt in the book. After that, هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ, a guidance for the God-fearing. What is the meaning of guidance for God-fearing? Those who are God-fearing, muttaqeen, they are already guided. So what's the need of guidance for them? Those who are not God-fearing, they need the guidance. Those who are God-fearing, they are already guided. So what's the need for them? So, هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ, a guidance for the God-fearing. It actually means that although the Holy Quran provides guidance not only to the mankind but to all existence in the universe, yet the special guidance which is the means of salvation in the other world is reserved for the God-fearing alone. Well, we have already explained in the commentary of Surah Fatiha that there are 3 degrees of divine guidance. The first degree being common to the whole mankind and even to animals, etc. The second being particular to men and jinns. And the third being special to those who are close to Allah and have found his favor. The different levels of this last degree being limitless. It is the last two degrees of guidance which are intended in the verse under discussion. With regard to the second degree, the implication is that those who accept the guidance will have the hope of being elevated to the rank of God-fearing. With reference to the third degree, the suggestion is that those who are already God-fearing may receive further and limitless guidance through the Holy Quran. That's the meaning of guidance for God-fearing. Well, next two verses. الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك وبالآخرة هم يوقنون. These next verses dedicate the characteristics of God-fearing. Those who are God-fearing, these verses describe their qualities and characteristics, suggesting that these are the people who have received guidance, whose path is the straight path, and that he who seeks the straight path should join their company. Who want the straight path, who is searching for the straight path, should join the company which is being going to describe. They should adopt their beliefs, their way of life. It is perhaps in order to enforce this suggestion that the Holy Quran immediately after pointing out the attributes peculiar to the God-fearing proceeds to say, أُولَٰئِكَ عَلَىٰ هُدًى مِّن رَبِّهِمْ وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. Translation is that it is these who are on guidance given by their Lord, and it is just these who are successful. It means the one who wants guidance or success should join their company. Now the qualities of God-fearing. Thus, the first two verses mentions three qualities of God-fearing. You can write them. Number one, they believe or believe in the unseen. They believe the unseen. Number two, they are steadfast in salah, namaz. And number three, they spend in the way of Allah. Now, what's the meaning of belief in unseen? Belief in the unseen ultimately comes to mean having firm faith in everything that the Holy Prophet ﷺ has taught us. We should believe in everything what our beloved Prophet Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa ﷺ has taught us. This is the meaning of belief in unseen. Second thing, establishment of salah. The second quality of the God-fearing is that they are steadfast in the prayer. The verb employed by the Holy Quran here is yuqimuna. In English translation is that they establish, which comes from the word iqama, signifying to straighten out. So the verb implies not merely saying one's prayers, but performing the prayers correctly in all possible ways and observing all the prescribed conditions, whether obligatory or commendable, fard or mustahab. We should, the one who care about everything in the salah, farz, mustahab, etc., wajibat, nafil, etc. This means yuqimuna. The concept includes regularity and perpetuity in the performance of salah, as also an inward concentration and humility. Now the third quality of the God-fearing is that they spend in the way of Allah. The correct position in this respect, which has been adopted by the majority of commentators, is that it includes all the forms of spending in the way of Allah, whether it be the fard, obligatory like zakat, or wajib, or just voluntary and nafil. It includes everything, every spending in the way of salah. Well, in the ayah, Allah Almighty says, "Mimma razaqnahum yunfiqun." Spend out of what we have provided them. It inspires us to spend the way of Allah by drawing our attention to the fact that anything and everything we possess is a gift from Allah and His trust in our hands, and that even if we spend all our possessions in the way of Allah, it would be proper and just and no favor to Him. But Allah in His mercy asks us to spend in His way out of what He has provided. That is only a part and not the whole. It means that what we spend in the way of Allah, that is also given by Him to us. Among the three qualities of the God-fearing, faith is of course the most important. الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. They have faith in unseen. They believe in unseen. It is the most important, for it is the basic principle of all other principles, and no good deed can find acceptance or validity without faith. One who do good things but has no faith in unseen and hereafter, he will be given nothing. So faith and belief in unseen, belief in hereafter, and belief in all things what we should believe is the most important for us. Now, good deeds are many. One could make a long list of them. Here, a question arises as to why the Holy Quran should be content to choose for mention only two, namely performing salah and spending in the way of Allah. Here, the Holy Book is telling us that these are who have got guidance. They have just two qualities. The qualities are they perform salah and spend in the way of Allah. The answer of this question is one could say that all the good deeds which are obligatory or necessary for man pertain either to his person and his body or to his possessions, what he has. Among the personal and bodily forms of ibadah, acts of worship, the most important is salah. Hence, the Holy Quran mentions only this form in the present passage. As for the different form of ibadah pertaining to possessions, the word infaq is spending, covers all of them. So all the good characteristics are in these two words, in these two characteristics. Thus, in maintaining only two good deeds, the Holy Quran has by implication included all the forms of worship and all good deeds. The whole verse then comes to mean that the God-fearing are those who are perfect in their faith and in their deeds both, and that Islam is the sum of faith and practice. Okay. Well, the next verses says, who believe in what has been revealed to you and in what has been revealed before you, and do have faith in the hereafter. This verse speaks of some other attributes of the God-fearing, giving certain details about faith in the unseen, with a special mention of faith in hereafter. Commenting on this verse, the blessed companions Abdullah ibn Mas'ud and Abdullah ibn Abbas radiyallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'in have said that in the days of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, God-fearing Muslims were of two kinds. Number one, those who used to be associators and disbelievers but accepted Islam. Number two, those who used to be among the people of the book, that is, Jews or Christians, but embraced Islam later on. The preceding verse refers to the first group and this verse to the second. Therefore, it said that the belief in what revealed before you and what revealed on you. Even today, it is obligatory for every Muslim to believe in the earlier divine books, except that now the belief has to take this form. Everything that Allah has revealed in the earlier books is true, accepting the changes and distortions introduced by selfish people. But now that all the earlier books and Shariahs have been abrogated, one must act according to the Holy Quran alone. Act will be done only the needs and the questions and on the Holy Book, Holy Quran. Now the last and most important subject, finality of Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, finality of prophethood. Well, here the mode of expression helps us to infer from this verse the fundamental principle that the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the last of all the prophets, and the book revealed to him is the final revelation and the last book of Allah. Because here said what revealed to you and what revealed before you, and it is not said that what will be revealed after you. So the Holy Book, the Holy Quran, mentions the earlier prophets and the earlier books, but does not make the slightest reference to a prophet or book to come after the last prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The matter does not end with this verse. The Holy Quran touches upon the subject again and again in no less than 40 or 50 verses, and in all such places it mentions the prophets and the books and the revelation preceding the Holy Prophet ﷺ. But nowhere is there even so much as a hint with regard to the coming of a prophet or of a revelation in the future, belief in whom or which should be necessary. Some verses we can listen here. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا مِنْ قَبْلِكَ. Another place, وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا رُسُلًا مِنْ قَبْلِكَ. وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا مِنْ قَبْلِكَ رُسُلًا. The fourth one, وَمَا أُنزِلَ مِنْ قَبْلِكَ. Another one, وَلَقَدْ أُوحِيَ إِلَيْكَ وَإِلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكَ كَذَلِكَ يُوحِي إِلَيْكَ وَإِلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكَ كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ سُنَّةَ مَنْ قَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا قَبْلَكَ مِنْ رُسُلِنَا. These are some examples. In these and similar verses, whenever the Holy Quran speaks of the sending down of a book or a revelation or a prophet or a messenger, it always attaches the conditional phrase min qabl, before, or min qablika, before you. Min qabl means before and min qablika means before you. And nowhere does it imply or suggest an expression like min ba'di, after you. Even if other verses of the Holy Quran had not been explicit about the finality of prophethood of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and about the finality of revelation, the mode of expression adopted by the Holy Quran in the present verse would in itself have been sufficient to prove these points. Now, the last characteristic is they have faith in hereafter. The other essential quality of the God-fearing mentioned in this verse is that they have faith in akhirah, the hereafter, that we will receive the result in another world after this world. Well, this is Tafseer of first 5 verses of Surah Baqarah. And if you have any question, you can answer now, or if you want a message. It's okay?
Yes, I think so, yes. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.